What's up, everyone? So, this might be an unexpected video for some because I literally explicitly told several people that Lugia will be one of the many unobtainable legendaries. I'm pretty sure I literally said it in the last video. Surprise! Ended up changing my mind. The reason being, Lugia and Ho-Oh do not make any sense for any boss fight in the game. There is no trainer from Johto, I believe, in the entire game. And all of the other, like, Rainbow Rocket bosses already have their own signature legendaries, of course. So I could find a spot for every single legendary that I listed. So those are Mewtwo with Mega Mewtwo X and Y, and then, the others. I'm not going to waste time going through all them all, but it's like Dialga, Palkia, Arceus, there is no spot for, but it'll probably be some type of Easter egg boss fight, because that's definitely not going to be obtainable by the player. Maybe like Cynthia or something in the battle tree could use it because of the Sinjo ruins crap. Who knows? But that's something for a later date for me to figure out. But what I have figured out now is that there's definitely no spot for Lugia and Ho-Oh. That doesn't make no sense. Like, there's a couple of reaches you could be like, oh yeah, this guy uses this, so therefore you could give it to them. No, it doesn't make sense. And I also just think it's kind of cool to have them usable. However, they are only obtainable in the post game, and I wouldn't say I don't encourage you to use them. It's more of like okay, if you're doing a hardcore Nuzlocke, like, go ahead and catch them and use them, but like, I would only do that if you're struggling. Not that they're overpowered, they really aren't. I mean, in the grand scheme of this hack, they really aren't that crazy at all. It's really not that broken, especially for post game only, which again has a lot of stuff, Battle Tree, Rainbow Rocket, etc. But they'll most of those trainers will also be using very, very powerful Pokemon as well. So it's not like having one legendary in your team like this is going to be that crazy. If you're using both Ho-Oh and Lugia at the same time, all right, that's maybe you're overdoing it a little bit. But use one of them for fun. If you love Ho-Oh or Lugia, go ahead and use them. I wouldn't, I don't encourage it, but I don't discourage it either. They are there if you want to use them, and I think it'd be pretty fun. They're not that crazy. Reason being, I know a lot of people want different typings for these guys, and a lot of people, especially for Lugia, people have infamously thought Lugia's typing is dumb. It should be water flying, it should be water dragon, it should be dragon. But look, I can agree with both dragon and water. However, in the terms of balancing, I think it's a lot cooler to have them have an ability that essentially gives them triple stab. So that's really cool. So they're kind of like a psychic flying and water type at the same time, in a weird sense. And I think that's super cool and super unique, and also makes them a lot less broken, because if Lugia was water flying with stormy seas, it'd be a bit excessive for the player to have access to in the post game. But as they are right now, I mean, there's regular Pokemon that are probably stronger than Lugia. Although I will say multi-scale is incredible, super incredible. I did lower their physical defense stat and speed in exchange for attack and special attack, and they do have a 700 base stat total now, mostly because just base stat total power creep in the hack means that they kind of need the 700, which I know that sounds crazy, but if you're new here, definitely check all the other changes. You'll see what I mean. And again, they are post-game only, so it's not really that important. But I still wanted to put the effort in to make them cool and fitting. So yes, Lugia is staying Psychic Flying because Lugia does have reason to be Psychic type. It has all these psychic powers and shit, and that's why it hides under the ocean, because its psychic powers are so powerful that it can't contain them, and that's why it causes storms and shit. Of course, it still lives under the water and all this stuff, which is why I gave it a very fitting ability in Stormy Seas. Perfect name for fucking Lugia. I love it. It's so perfect. There is other Pokemon that will have this ability. Obviously, Kyogre will have it, but then there's also more. There is one non-legendary, non-post-game Pokemon that will have Stormy Seas, so stay tuned for that one. But in Lugia's case, it's really cool because essentially it gives him permanent rain. Of course, when he switches out, it goes away, but it's still really cool because as long as Lugia is on the field, it's immune to fire, and it gets stab on water moves. And moves like Stab, Hurricane, and Thunder for coverage will not miss. So those are all really, really awesome traits that Lugia has now with the base 130 special attack stat. Its speed is lower. That's kind of for balancing because multi-scale is really good, and also because it just didn't make that much sense in my opinion for it to be that fast. I would like it to be the same as Ho-Oh. And then, its special attack and physical attack should be much higher, just given how fucking giant it is, and how powerful it is. So it's more offensive, a little bit less bulky physically, although its bulk is still insane. I mean, 106, 110, 154 bulk is incredible. Of course, it's post-game locked. It's just there if you want to use it. If you want to go ahead and use the Lugia, go ahead. I will not judge you. I think it would be fun, especially if you're playing the attack just for fun and you want to use your favorite Pokemon, or you want to just use cool shit. Go ahead, especially if you're struggling. Say, for example, you do Rainbow Rocket and you get absolutely demolished. Then maybe go ahead and catch that Ho-Oh, catch that Lugia. Maybe that'll help you a little bit because they do have incredible abilities and very good stats. I don't want to talk about it too much else. I don't know. Stormy Seas, it's great. Okay, again, it gives you immunity to fire. So Psychic Flying with immunity to fire means that you're immune to ground and fire. You resist 4 times to fighting, grass and psychic 2 times, and then you have 5 weaknesses, which is pretty solid, given the fact that you also have access to multi-scale, and of course you do have access to infinite use ability capsules and EV training. And actually, by the post game, you also have access to bottle caps, so you can get your max IVs on your Pokemon as well. So at that point, like, you have infinite customizability, and you can literally just run whatever set you want. You have some cool stuff. So multi-scale Nasty Plot, multi-scale Dragon Dance, and multi-scale Calm Mind are all incredible. As well as utility, with multi-scale. You can use it to take any hit. You can use it for utility to get stuff like a barrier or amnesia off to be really tanky. But yeah, Calm Mind, Dragon Dance is really fun. Despite having a lower physical attack stat, it's still a very good one, and it has very good stab moves and Stormy Seas boosted moves. So again, it's almost like a triple typed Pokemon. Same for Ho-Oh. I'll get into Ho-Oh when I in the next video, which I really like the way what I did for both of them to make them triple typed Pokemon. Is very unique. Obviously, they're not actually triple typed, but you understand the concept. I think it's pretty sweet nonetheless. Yeah, it's just really fucking cool. He has tons of powerful stab moves. You can check out what all these do in the description below. If you go to the description and you go to the search all moves here, you can see all of these effects for all these moves. A lot of them are changed and buffed. I don't want to waste too much time. These are going to be briefer videos because they are only post game, so I don't want to get too detailed into them. It's pretty self-explanatory anyways. They're just a strong, tanky legendary that isn't actually that's really not that good. It's not that overpowered at all. And it is an optional encounter. It's an island scan, in Lugia being in Pony Gauntlet, and then Ho-Oh being in a... I should probably talk about both these in the same video, but the thumbnail won't fit both of them, so I'll just do separate ones. It's fine. Yeah, just tons of great coverage. Utility, parting shot, that kind of shit. You have reliable recovery with Roost. You have very strong stab moves. You got Dive Bomb for flying, and Hurricane, and Hydro Pump, and Surging Strikes, and Waterfall. All kinds of insanely powerful moves. But all Pokemon have access to those now, so it's not like it's anything special. It's just a strong Pokemon, then. I don't know what else to say. It's super tanky, pretty fast. Not as fast as it used to be. Slightly less tanky than it used to be, but it does have access to Stormy Seas and Multi-Scale at the same time. Well, not the exact same time, but you understand, it can pick between those ability options and switch between them. Say, for example, you're fighting Maxi and you need Stormy Seas to counter his Rain or his Sun, then you run Stormy Seas Lugia. Say you need, although actually you would have to switch it in because Sweltering Sun would actually prioritize over Stormy Seas because the Groudon and the other Sweltering Sun Pokemon are all very slow, so that's really good. A lot of the Stormy Seas Pokemon are a lot faster than the Sweltering Sun Pokemon, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, again, you can always just switch that in and override the harsh sunlight, so that's useful. Again, it's basically like if you're struggling, or if you just really happen to like Lugia, then go ahead and use it. I will not judge you whatsoever. I put it in the game for a reason. It's intended to be used, to be optionally used. But again, if you don't want to, nobody's forcing you. It's literally you have to go through Island Scan to do it. So it's not like the most intuitive way. Although there will be a lot of Island Scan encounters, purely because I do need to fit Pokemon in the hack, and there's 721 of them. So yeah. I think it covers about everything. I'm not going to waste time covering all these coverage moves. I think they all make plenty sense. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. Briefer video, shorter video. If you want to see more detailed videos from me and you want to find more information from this hack, you can check out my other videos. You can also join my Discord server in the description. Again, you can also find a link to these Google Sheets in the description. You can see where, there's tons of custom new abilities and new moves in this hack. 28 plus custom new abilities and lots of buffs to everything. It's really, really cool. So you can definitely feel free to check that out in the description. But I'm gonna leave it off here. See you guys, and I'll be back with Ho-Oh literally as soon as I'm finishing this one. So yeah, bye.